for the next round of the late model series at Warnerton, and Anton Gunnarsson is with me, a new driver for this particular day. Anton, a huge history in motorsport you have. Tell us more.
It's a big story, but actually if I want to reduce it to a few sentences, we are Dakar drivers, and we've done all sorts of endurance races: Le Mans, Zolder, Francorchamps, 24 hours, and Nürburgring, which we're going to do this year again in an Aston Martin. But our favorite remains Warnerton.
Okay, and just to go back to Dakar, if I may, I'm given to understand it hasn't always been, you've used various different vehicles for Dakar.
Actually, we two people, my friend Kurt and me, who's also driving here today, we actually made a world record this year in January in Argentina, where we arrived with quads, which means the category motorcycles, for the third time on 3 trials, because the other 2 there were trucks and jeeps, so which means we have done the 3 categories in 3 times and 3 times arrived, which makes us the only one in the world.
That's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Because as an endurance event, to finish that event is such an achievement.
It was very hard the first 2 times, and I thought I'd seen it all until I arrived in the 4th of January in Buenos Aires, and then another dimension of the rally started. It was amazingly difficult and dangerous, and but we made it.
Okay, so to Warnerton then, you say your favourite, and the late model V8s, of course, hugely powerful cars. You've driven them before. What makes it so special for you then, Anton?
Because it's a track that asks a lot of skill, although it doesn't look like that because it only has 4 turns to the left. But it's short time racing, which is also nice. It's, as you say, it's really powerful. So you've got the sensation of speed, and you have a lot of influences from other drivers, which you don't have in endurance races, which you don't have on a big circuit. There's a lot of interference. The cars are powerful. There's a lot to be raced with, and it's very nice. On top of it, it's not so expensive.
So Anton Gunnarsson, there he is from the Raptor Racing team as he drives out. In fact, all the cars make their way onto the track, being paced around now by former national hot rod world champion 75 John Stewart from Paddock Wood in Kent, over here for round 2 of the Euro Late Model Series.
Green.
We get the green from our race starter, and there is number 95 Gary Ellis, who's got almost an entire lap handicap. Look, starting right at the back, in fact right at the front of the leading pack, but he's a lap down. So it's John Stewart that leads these cars away. Phenomenally powerful V8 cars, and here's the pack of the former Camso cars, all integrated into the new European Late Model Series. Now these former SCSA cars given a little bit of an advantage at the start of the race, because these cars are still being developed and still integrated into this new European Late Model Series. They're slightly heavier, slightly taller, and they can turn right as well as left. So a bit of development work going on with the teams to get these cars on terms. And talking of on terms, we go on board with Xavier van der Meers right now as he's working his way through the pack. Right in front of him is Christoph van der Kerkhoff in the Tony Roots car, number 77. Xavier looking for a way round, takes to the outside. Jean Vasseur is just in front in the red and blue car, but we're on board with Xavier trying to get past Christoph van der Kerkhoff in the 77 car. Very, very evenly matched, fast, close racing as we go back on board. He's got Jean Vasseur right in front of him now, and it really is a tight pack of cars now. This is hugely exciting stuff from this European Late Model Series as we see a car, a little bit of damage there.
Yellow.
We have a yellow.
22, slow down. 22, slow down.
Race director telling 22 to slow down. Oh no, Kelvin Hassel, car number 88. Whenever there's an incident,
So
never normally anything to do with
inside,
him, but he's always in there.
98 outside, 17 inside, 99 outside.
There we can hear our race director lining those cars up, making sure they're in the right place before the green once again as John Stewart leads them away. There he is, Roland van der Meers, race director. John Stewart coming under increasing pressure now from driver number 17. That's our veteran, ex-American racer Andy Andrews in the all-orange 17 car, through on the inside. Fantastic stuff for Andy Andrews then, driving the Chevy Impala bodied car. Driver number 17, he's had a career littered with success. Back on board we go with Xavier van der Misch. We can see on the inside Kelvin Hassel with his war-wounded, battle-damaged car still going. We've got Jean Vasseur right in front of us, champion in 2007. And Xavier trying to squeeze through the gap in the middle, but the gap just not wide enough. There is Gary Ellis in 95 now. He's got Tony Hurdle right behind him. Gary, of course, started way back. And he's trying to reel in Christoph van der Kerkhoff right now in the number 77 car. This is fantastic stuff from the all-new Euro Late Model Series. More information at latemodel.eu. That's the website for you to check out all the information. As once again we go back on board with Xavier. We see Jean Vasseur getting a little sideways. Now Xavier, where's he going to go? Inside, outside. Looks for the outside line, gets right alongside Jean Vasseur now through the bends here at the Warnerton Raceway. 95, Gary Ellis then, and a little bit of a ding there between John Stewart and Christoph van der Kerkhoff in number 77. Xavier dives up the inside, Tony Hurdle there in car number 98. Trying to defend his position, Xavier takes to the outside. This is fantastic stuff. We can see Gary Ellis there in car number 95. There's Christoph van der Kerkhoff in car number 77 and John Stewart in 75. John driving a superb race. Bear in mind that this car's still under development. So this, and look at that! Christoph van der Kerkhoff taking a huge advantage of a mistake there made by John Stewart. This the battle for a podium place. 77, Christoph van der Kerkhoff. We're on board with Xavier van der Misch, watching everything that's going on here on track. Fantastic here at the Warnerton Raceway, the all-new Euro Late Model Series, racing away. The sound of those awesome V8s powering around this 3/8 mile oval. Xavier van der Misch there, Gary Ellis in 95, we're back on board with Xavier. Christoph van der Kerkhoff in car number 77. Xavier van der Misch trying to find a way through, looks inside, outside, sticks with the outside now, dives back on the inside, right on Christoph's back bumper. While all this is going on, there the checkered flag for Andy Andrews, who went off into the distance. Fantastic race win for this guy, number 17, Andy Andrews. Brilliant effort from him. So there we have the race results then. Andy Andrews takes first place, second Christoph van der Kerkhoff, third Xavier van der Misch, with fourth Gary Ellis. John Stewart takes fifth, Tony Hurdle in sixth place. Fantastic race. Okay, so we're at the Warnerton Speedway then, this 3/8 mile banked oval, as we line up then for race number 2, being led away then by Dan Boys in the 99 car, Tony Hurdle to his outside, John Stewart behind, and these in the Howe chassis-based Ascar, former Ascar cars. Now they're not an offset chassis, they are built to turn left, turn right, unlike the Camso cars. So a little bit of development work still to be done to get those absolutely right up to speed, but a 5th and 6th place in the last race shows you just how much development has been done. As we go back on board with Xavier van der Misch then, going past the matte black Raptor Racing Treble 2 car. Then we see Kelvin Hassel. Tempted to say long-haired lover, I'd better not say that, but he really is long-haired. A real rocker is Kelvin. That's John Stewart in car number 75. The white and green machine of the former national hot rod world champion John Stewart from Paddock Wood in Kent. Very nearly a veteran racer himself now. He won't like me for saying that. Dan Boys, of course, who's already had great experience of racing in the States. Gets a little bit of a slide on there as John Stewart goes through. And there we see Wim Moonen in the all-yellow car. Wim Moonen is a car dealer by trade. Got big short oval experience. But on the big 3/8 mile oval, as we see Xavier van der Misch get a little bit sideways right now. Xavier van der Misch, we're on board with him. Fantastic racing here at the Warnerton Raceway. Just listen to this V8 power. Great to be on board with Xavier and hear the note of that fantastic V8 engine roaring around this raceway. Let's hear some more. What absolute monumental noise that is. Poetry to a petrolhead's ears. Flame-throwing Wim Moonen then is right in front. of Xavier Van der Meers. Xavier takes to the outside. You can see the flames being thrown out of that Wim Moonen car as Xavier, who has made an incredible charge around this raceway. You can see the panels flapping, and look at that, as Tony Hurdle goes in really deep and gets very, very sideways. It matters not to Xavier Van der Meers, hugely experienced, knows this Warnerton raceway like the back of his hand, and used all that experience to his advantage. Wim Moonen then in the all-yellow car. There's Xavier in car number 19, John Stewart on his outside, as once again we go back on board with Xavier Van der Meers, giving us an incredible taste of just how quick these cars are around this 3/8 mile raceway that is Warnerton Speedway. And Xavier's up on the inside. This is the fight for the lead. Look at this battle going on between Wim Moonen and Xavier Van der Meers. It's yellow versus blue. Xavier takes the outside line, goes slightly wide and takes to the outside once again. Wim Moonen holds tight on the inside. Back-marking car in front of them. Xavier Van der Meers giving it absolutely everything that he possibly can around this raceway. So the back-marking number 3 car won't know what's hit in a moment as Xavier Van der Meers takes to the lead then. Wim Moonen will be furious that he made the mistake of sticking down low on the inside as Xavier Van der Meers, as he pumps that throttle around the bends. A real sideways style driver is Xavier. He loves nothing more than showboating for the crowd here. I'd get in the tail of that car kicking out. There we see Jean Vasseur. There's Gary Ellis, the Intimidator, in car number 95, getting a bit of a shove there from John Stewart. Tony Hurdle taking advantage of that and diving up the inside. This is Gary Ellis in car number 95 then, the all-yellow and red machine. He's fighting for a podium place as well. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Look at this, around the back-marking number 3 car. Gary Ellis, it's like he's on rails, V8-powered rails around this Warnerton raceway. John Stewart then retires to the outside of the track, perhaps with some damage done earlier on in the race. But it's the battle to the line right now as we see number 95 Gary Ellis there in the yellow and red machine. But surely it's going to be Xavier Van der Meers' race. Once again, Gary Ellis turns. Here's the pack. There's the blue and white car of Xavier Van der Meers. He takes the win. It's Wim Moonen then we think is second. Maybe Gary Ellis third. There's Jean Vasseur. What an eventful race. That was fantastic. Flame-throwing stuff with Xavier Van der Meers taking the win. Wim Moonen second. Gary Ellis third. And then under our radar, the Raptor driver, Kurt Dujardin, in 4th place, with Jean Vasseur 5th and Anton Gonnerson in 6th place. There the crowd applaud, as rightly they should as well. Good fun race. Not so for John Stewart. Puncture there and a little bit of wall damage as Xavier Van der Meers celebrates on his lap of honour. And we're back with the feature final next. Welcome back. Let's go racing. This, the longer feature final of this European Late Model Series. And as we go into this feature final, the championship standings at the moment, a quick calculation would suggest that the battle at the top is between Xavier Van der Meers and Gary Ellis. But right now, let's see those drivers out on track then. Tony Hurdle leads them away in the number 98 car. Then we see 75, John Stewart. Then it's Dan Boys, and we're back on board with Xavier Van der Meers, who's got a whole pack of traffic to battle his way through to maintain his position right at the top there. In front of him, we can see the 77 car. That's the Tony Roots car, but it's being driven this weekend by the race starter and one-time top lightning rod driver, that's Christoph van der Kerkhoff. But there's Dan Boys, who's got experience of racing in the States. Then we see the other Raptor car. There's 3 Raptor racing cars in this event, and that is Treble 2. Josh Janssen driving that Dodge Charger bodied car. And down the straight we go, a bit of a touch there. Oh! You can hear 99 being told off, and we see car number 71, Bertrand Zor, go round. The yellow flags are out. There is Bertrand Zor.
And number 4, slow down.
Well,
Number 99, you go at the back of the field, you cut in before the car was already inside. So, gentlemen, we have our positions.
So the positions relined up then by Roland van der Meers, our race official here. Discipline amongst these drivers, absolutely imperative at these speeds around this 3/8 mile. Green. We have the green then, and driver number 4, Frederic Bernier, in the number 4 car. But we go back on board with Xavier Van der Meers. We can see Jean Vasseur in 07 in front of us. Then we've got Tony Hurdle on the inside line. So where's Xavier going to go? Dives down low on the inside then. He's got Tony Hurdle And there we see once again Josh Janssen in the treble 2 car from the Raptor Racing team. Distinctive black cars. Back on board with Xavier Van der Meers, who's reeling in the 2007 champion Jean Vasseur around this oval here at the Warnerton Speedway. Warnerton Speedway, as close as you will get to NASCAR style racing here in Europe. In fact, this Warnerton Speedway, very much like the DeSoto Super Speedway in Florida. I suspect that Bruce Andy Andrews has raced there in his racing career, but we're staying with Xavier Van der Meers right now as we see 88 Kelvin Hassel get very, very sideways. Now that could cause a problem now to Xavier Van der Meers, who's going to have to go down low. 75 John Stewart occupies that place at the moment, so Xavier is blocked in now. Kelvin Hassel doing the best he can with a nil handling machine, bit of panel work flapping on that car as well, and Jean Vasseur goes up the inside, and so too does Gary Ellis. This is just what Xavier didn't want to happen, so Xavier now dives down to the inside. Gary goes up on the outside. And there we see 07 Jean Vasseur as we go back on board with Xavier Van der Meers to see how this is lining up right now. Gary Ellis through, and Gary trying to reel in as we see Jean Vasseur get very sideways. Gary Ellis very, very close. Now Ellis really is on an absolute charge. Look at this battle here. These three drivers, Jean Vasseur, 2007 champion, Gary Ellis, last year's champion, Xavier Van der Meers, right in the pack. Now bear in mind, Xavier and Gary are fighting, we think, with our calculations, right at the top of that championship table, so this feature final is important to both of them, but it's just as important to Jean Vasseur as well. He desperately wants to be in there, and this charge is fantastic. There too is car number 77, Christoph van der Kerkhoff, going past the treble 2 Raptor racing car. Flames flying out of the back of that matte black machine, which is the trademark of the Raptor racers. Oh, and John Stewart's gone round. John Stewart has gone round. Tony Hurdle involved in there as well in car number 98. And the Crime Stopper 75 John Stewart car, that has sustained some damage as we get back now. Let's line those cars up once again and go for the green. The fight to the finish in this feature final here at the Warnerton Speedway, the Euro Late Model Series. And it's Christoph van der Kerkhoff in car number 77. Then we see treble 2, then we see 95, then it's Jean Vasseur, then it's Xavier Van der Meers. All of them ploughing their way through this fast and furious field of V8 racers here at the Warnerton Speedway. Now Van der Kerkhoff has really shown well driving this Tony Roots car, car number 77, but he's got Gary Ellis right on the outside of him now. Now if anyone makes an outside line work, then these drivers are the ones that do it, and Gary Ellis will stick there like super glue to the side of Christoph van der Kerkhoff. Look at this absolutely neck and neck stuff around this 3/8 mile banked oval at the Warnerton Speedway, the Euro Late Model Series. Now you too could be driving one of these V8 racers here at the Warnerton Speedway, because Gary Ellis is actually part of the Roots V8 Racing School, and it would only cost you €500 a day. I've got my hand in my wallet as we speak, as we see Tony Hurdle retire. The awesome sound of these V8s. And there's Xavier Van der Meers pumping his throttle around the bends, the flames coming out of the back of Christoph van der Kerkhoff's car. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Gary Ellis has got his nose in front, but it only came after absolute persistence of being alongside Christoph van der Kerkhoff for lap after lap after lap after lap. Absolutely brilliant close racing. So there he is, Gary Ellis then. And look at that, in third place it is treble 2. Xavier Van der Meers has got all the work to do. He wants to get on that podium. He needs to be on that podium. But there is the man, number 95, Gary Ellis. Real personable individual in the paddock, always helping every other driver. And Xavier Van der Meers now takes to the outside line, around trying to get past treble 2 Josh Janssen from the Raptor Racing team. But the yellow and red machine of Gary Ellis is being hounded by Christoph van der Kerkhoff in car number 77. We go back on board with Xavier Van der Meers. who has got to do everything he possibly can to get close to these two. Again, absolutely floors that throttle through the straight, lifts off into the bend. Few bumps of it, and back out onto the straight again. The sound of that mighty V8 roaring as he gives it absolutely everything he can. So there is number 95, Gary Ellis. Perhaps a car length in front of 77, Christoph, and then behind Christoph it is Xavier van der Meersch. But it is Gary Ellis at the moment, who looks to be relatively untroubled. Flames out of the back of Christoph's car once again. These European late models here at the 3/8 mile. Banked, fast and furious oval raceway that is Warnerton Speedway. As Xavier now really on terms with Christoph van der Kerkhoff, but the checkered flag is down, and Gary Ellis takes the win. Marvellous sideways manoeuvre there from Xavier van der Meersch in celebration. Absolutely awesome feature final. And taking the win then, Gary Ellis. In second place, Christoph van der Kerkhoff. Third was Xavier van der Meersch. In fourth place, Jean Vasseur. Fifth, Jos Janssen. In sixth place was Kelvin Hassel. Seventh, Anton Gonnessen. And eighth was Bertrand Zor, which means then that the driver standings for the championship, Gary Ellis is right at the top with Xavier van der Meersch in second place and Christoph van der Kerkhoff third in the championship.
Got lucky breaks with the yellows. I was lucky I could get away, carry on. Sometimes you get the yellows, you get boxed in, and you lose loads of places before you got to do them again.
Honestly, side by side with Gary, and that was fantastic racing.
It was absolutely awesome. It was one better than yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I could manage it. It's really fantastic. It's possible to do it with these cars on this little track. It's possible, and you know. You just need to do whatever you have to do. You have to stay within your line. You can't switch over. You just have to do your thing, and then you can do it. You see, second.
A big repair job, though, for one of our racers. John Stewart, I regret to say that was a race full of drama, and you were right in the thick of it. Can you talk us through what happened?
I don't know. It was a race full of drama, but I had a bit of drama that rather hit the wall quite hard.
Now, I mean, we were looking. Of course, we're watching the race all the time, but it's completely different from a driver's perspective.
Yeah, well, it is. I can't sort of blame him in some respects because I didn't know he was underneath me. I thought he was outside. But unfortunately, when he hit me, he just kept the power on, which fired me into the wall. He didn't give me a chance to get away, but that's racing, isn't it, you know?
Well, another fantastic day here at the Warnerton Speedway and the Euro Late Model Series. 3 different winners. Tight, close racing. The sort of action that we absolutely love. And there's much more to come very soon.